Yeah, thank you, Kellen. Can you hear me at the back? All right, yeah, so Michael Fieldhouse asked me to present the Academy to this particular forum about 2 weeks ago when I met him in Perth, and I'm very delighted to be here to be able to present or showcase the idea around outreach, training, and employment for people on autism spectrum in the area of digital technologies or digital ecosystem. It's what we did about 3 or 4 years ago at Curtin was to have a workshop or a focus group to look at how best to actually support individuals on autism spectrum, preparing them towards employment. Me as an engineer, I see the benefits of industries coming on board to harness the special talent of people on the autism spectrum in STEM-related area, right? Science, technology, engineering, and mathematics, and working collaboratively with our colleagues from the health science or allied health area. We actually come up with several strategies to help prepare young boys and girls with autism towards this particular initiative. Before I start, I'd like to acknowledge John Rich, who's sitting at the back there, who is the Executive Director of the ACS Foundation, who has been a tremendous partner in helping the Autism Academy achieve one of the main goals of internship for our students. But before I do that, I'll have some information about, basically why we do it. So in that workshop where we discuss about possible gaps in the community, well, we found out that basically there are a huge spectrum of challenges that impinge on the individuals with autism, right from high school age right through to employment. Basically, you have issues with under-resourced environment, as well as the lack of autism-specific programs or services that they can utilize. And all this assists within schools, within the workplace, and also within people going to a tertiary education environment. And we look at that and see that how best can we be able to resolve these challenges as we develop a program or structure or intervention around it. And then we realize again, this has been talked about several times this morning, that we look at it from the strength-based perspective. So we look at the individuals with autism. A majority of them have strength in these following areas, and why not identify and cultivate this strength as they journey across schools, higher schools, education, tertiary education, pre-employment, and into employment. So our strategy is looking at strength-based program to actually assist individuals on autism spectrum to realize that particular opportunity. Way back in 2014, I have a conversation with Michael Fieldhouse, who just started the first pod in Canberra and South Australia. And it's around the narrative of utilizing the strength of individual with autism in the area of software testing. So this has been demonstrated tremendously in programs like the Dandelion program, with huge emphasis within SAP and a lot of corporates. They're realizing the benefit of people with autism in software testing. These are just some of the characteristics of a good software testers, and you can see that many of these characteristics mirrors the strength of people with autism. So the narrative is actually quite straightforward. There is an innate talent with people on the autism spectrum that mirrors very well in the software testing space. So this is the first narrative. Of course, we don't wish to pigeonhole everybody to be a software tester, but we now slowly discover that there are other skills like ability to look at patterns. Then this kind of skills relates very well with a very current emphasis on data science as well. Right, so we are beginning to broaden our perspective of the possible job scope that this individual can possibly provide. So basically, there's still challenges in terms of transitioning from high school right up to employment, and we're trying to develop strategies to meet these challenges. So what we have here is the framework that we adopt at Curtin with the Autism Academy for Software Quality Assurance. Three main programs. The first program on the bottom left is an outreach program. This is where we work with high school kids to help them identify and develop skill sets in STEM-related areas. So I'll give you a bit of information about that later. We find that training and education is important. We are not mandating to replicate the mainstream education pathways, because we will hit the roadblock at the beginning. So what we do is we augment further training and support structure around mainstream schools. I'll give you examples of that later as well. And it's kind of hard because there's no screen here, so I can't see what I'm talking about. So the last program is the internship program, where again we work with the ACS Foundation to develop a specialist internship, which is a paid internship to help individual develop some early exploration into a work employment. So I'll give you more information about the first program, which is an outreach. So we started in 2016 at the local school in Perth with a very humble beginning of 4 students. So we developed a framework of mentoring. So we get mentors from Curtin universities. These mentors are from computer science and engineering. We combine them with mentoring from mentors from occupation therapies and psychology. So we have a mixed bag of technical mentors as well as the soft skill mentors to help guide the learning journey of the students. That is 3 years ago. Right now we have 80 students that comes regularly on the Saturdays with about 40 mentors that help them along the way. We started one at the regional center at Kalgoorlie in WA. Currently we have 17 students as well. So the coding club is around getting people interested in anything STEM related. So we have programming, we have robotics outreach, we have Internet of Things. At the same time, we do have math enrichment program to augment the learning experience of the individual. It's very volunteer based, so it costs very little resources in terms of money to run it. All we need to do is to get some donation to buy pizza on a regular basis to reward the mentors and the mentees as well. So it's a very nice platform. We talked about partnership this morning, and this is an excellent example of a good partnership between the external mentor, between the donors as well, and working with the local schools to provide the students for this particular program. So the students are basically year 7 to year 12 students, so you're talking about 12 to 18 years old, and we think that's a very good age to actually start looking into developing skills relevant for future jobs. The training and education platform or programs, we have several initiatives. We'd like to run software testing hackathons. It's a benefit for industries or even companies that has software that needs to be released to be tested by the autistic testers first. Right? So it's a win-win. It's a win for the business partner in terms of having a software that is more rigorously tested. At the same time, a win for our members because they develop the skills needed to be software tested, skills that encompass how do you report bugs and how do you register that bugs into a particular platform. We do provide international certification opportunity as well, again with partnerships from Planet Testing and BHP, who actually donated funds to actually help us run what we call the ISTQB certification program. This program is usually done by graduate students in software engineering who wants to move on to a profession in software testing. So we open this up to even high school kids. So for the past 2 years, we have 2-year, 12 students who actually took this certification exam and passed it brilliantly. And this has led on to further opportunities for them to gain portfolio entries, which is an alternate pathway for them to gain entry into universities, for example. We work with the Department of Training and Workforce Development that administer the VET program in WA to create 11 scholarships so far for the past 2 years, as well as Curtin has a specialist peer mentoring program that helps undergraduates with autism at Curtin by pairing them with a mentor to look at how best to actually daily navigate through the university environment, things like ordering coffee, how to write emails to the unit coordinator that doesn't sound rude and disrespectful and things like that. So we provide that kind of peer mentoring opportunity, which is a brilliant way to help them be ready for work experience. All right, so having that kind of support does really help. We are very proud of the internship program because when we first started with the Autism Academy, we have Bank West who actually donated 2 internship places for some of our students, and again together with the ACS Foundation, we started a specialist internship, which is a paid internship up to $32,000 if the intern works full-time, and we have seen gathered interest from other industry partners to the point that right now we have about 19 interns that actually gone through the program. We're quite confident by the end of 2019, this number will reach about 30 in total. We are very much interested to scale this nationally. I think with the blessing of the executive director of ACS Foundation. Very keen to work with the Eastern State partner to see how best this internship program can be used to help undergraduates to look for work experience. It's a very good opportunity, what we call try before you buy model for the employer as well. So there's a non-committal relationship, to host the intern. But if the intern do well, and upon graduation, there's always the opportunity for the interns to be employed as a graduate staff in the organization. I did this network matrix about a few months ago to demonstrate the fact that it is through close partnership. We talk about system thinking this morning, but it looks more like a system of system thinking because you have organization working with organization with different external forces being applied. So we are very proud of our relationship with the various stakeholders that we have engaged so far. We are run by an advisory board where we consult very regularly. So the advisory board comprises of people from the industry, stakeholders in the autism space, as well as academia who actually do the evidence-based research around most of our program. These are a set of our sponsors and donors up to this stage, and the list is growing by the month. Usually I leave off with this particular slide. Sam was 2 years ago when he set for his online NAPLAN test. This is the feedback I got from his mom the day after he took his English NAPLAN test, creative writing, which Sam struggled, but instead of writing his essay, he wrote a bug report about the NAPLAN test. How wonderful is that? Okay, thank you very much.